Hey there, welcome to the Division beta. I started playing this yesterday even though I had access a day before, but it just took me so long to install it. And the first thing you can do is create a character like in so many open world games. And you can choose between female and male, and you can choose between white, Asian and black. And I chose to go with this lady because for me, she just looked the best. And this is actually a closed beta, so not everyone has access to this, but I think they're still trying to let more people in. This beta is going through Sunday. So first, when you get into this world, you're just in awe about the detail and the realism. It looks just so beautiful. And I've been to New York so many times, I can just confirm that's exactly how it feels when you're there. And it won't take long until you actually run into your first encounter where you actually have to fight some enemies who seem to bother a civilian here. And you kind of get your first feeling of, how the shooting works and the cover system. And I'm just not really a big fan of third-person shooters, so this game was still something I wasn't sure about. I was, really, really interested in it because it's New York, and New York is my favorite city. So once you get to the base, you can see here that you have three wings: the medical, the tech wing, and the security wing. And those are the three wings you have to actually help build up because they're in shambles at the beginning. And also in this base, you can basically upgrade your gear, your weapons, you can purchase stuff. You can, as you can see here, I don't have any money, my wallet is empty at the beginning. Look at those huge donuts here, I had to look at them, they're just so funny. And then you can actually look at the missions board and it will automatically update your map with all the new missions available, which is really cool. It's like a little bit like Dying Light, besides that it kind of automatically updates the missions for you. You don't have to pick and choose, you just have all of them on your map and then you can choose when you're on the road. And here you can see all the possibilities. You can basically look at your Intel group management map, abilities, and with all of those similar games, it's always a little bit of a learning curve to know what you have to do and how you have to do and how you use it on the road. And when you're on the road, you actually have access to the whole city, like in a 3D version, which is really cool. As you can see here, there's not a lot open for the beta. The red area is all closed off, but everywhere in here within the red lines, you can actually explore and go and see what kind of missions are available, what kind of encounters, just what's going on, where you can find loot and stuff like that. And then, you just keep like exploring the city, and while you explore the city, you all of a sudden run into hostiles, and this happens quite a bit because there are a lot of hostile people and you sometimes don't know it, so you always have to be careful to not just kind of like trust just everyone because you just never know. But when you actually take out those people, you then get new loot and you make the city safer, of course. For me, it was just really, really hard to kind of get used to for a third-person shooter again. I find it just a lot more complicated and difficult than playing first person. And I really, really wish they would have made this so that you can switch between first person and third person. That would have just been awesome. This game would have been so much more immersive. But anyway, I'll get used to this again. So what you also have, besides the main missions, you have like side missions, of course, and one of them is hostage rescue, which is really, really fun. So you basically have to secure an area where a hostage is hidden. You don't really know where the hostage is exactly. So the first thing you have to do, you have to take all of them out, and once you've taken them all out, and look at that, first person. Yeah, you get to get the first person view only if you have a scope. So you can imagine as soon as I got my hands on a scope, I was attaching it to my gun so I could basically take out people from far away. And that's really, really helpful, especially in this game with this cover system, because the enemy AI is pretty smart in this game and they know how to cover, and it's sometimes hard to get to them. Sometimes you just have to get really close to take them out, or if you have a scope and they stick out their head, you can take them out pretty easy. But so once you've taken out all those guys and you have taken their loot, then you have to go and find the key to free the hostage. And as you can see here, it gives me a little hint in this coffee shop, and there it is, there's the key. And the hostage is already kind of calling for me. They obviously already know I'm here, so they can't wait to get out, and you free them, and it's a really good feeling. And not just that you get points for freeing the, you get like C60 points for medical supplies for your medical wing in the base station, but you also get really good loot usually here where you free the hostages. You get like some general loot, and then you get some big loot usually, like here for example I get more gear, I get an adjustable holster, sometimes you get like a new gun. So it's definitely worth to free those hostages, and I always loved hostage missions even in Dying Light and many other games too. And then the other thing that you can do is virus research. You have to basically go to 2 to 3 scanners. You've got to find them in a building or even on the street. You have to find them and you have to activate those virus scanners. And you have actually a timer that's counting that. As you can see on the top, I have like a little bit more than 5 minutes. I think overall 6 minutes. I have to find 3 virus scanners. I don't really know where they are. This is a really tall building with a lot of floors and a lot of rooms. So you have to quickly find those virus scanners. Here is the second one. And now we just need the third one. Timer is running.
Contamination scan initiated.
So the third one should be up on the 3rd floor, hopefully, or on the next floor. No, it's not here. So you have to search really, really fast because you don't have much time. So here we go. Here's the third one. So I have the next thing is you have to upload the virus to the data cloud, and sometimes it's a little hard to find out how you get to that point, but I found it here. It's up on the roof, and of course you have to fight a bunch of enemies here because they obviously don't want you to upload that virus. And sometimes they can be quite tough, and especially because you're on a timer, so you need to kind of hurry up and take those out as quickly as possible so you have enough time to upload. But it's usually not too hard. If you find the virus scanners fast enough, then you have enough time left actually to take out those enemies that are trying to prevent you from getting to that computer to upload the virus. So here we go, everyone is down, and I still have over 2 minutes, so that's plenty of time to do that because that upload actually goes pretty fast. So as you can see here, this is the virus research. You get points again for the medical wing supplies and credits and XP. Another thing is that you can find surveillance data through echologs, and when you actually activate those echologs, you can basically look back and see what happened at this place where you're standing and then solve the crime based on what you're seeing. So basically here I have to find a missing person, and there are several parts. You find all those echologs, and as you can see here, it's kind of creepy. You can basically see what happened at that point once and then go from there and kind of solve that puzzle like a real cop or detective. And every once in a while you actually run into a civilian that's asking you for a med kit or an energy bar or water, and don't forget to help them out because you won't regret it. They always leave you some kind of loot, and you will be surprised. Sometimes they actually leave you like a rare gun or like something really amazing that you would not have gotten if you would not have helped out the civilian. And here you can see the weapon customization. Basically, you can change the color of it. So whatever you find, rewards you get, the scopes, the grips, and it's pretty detailed actually. Extended magazines, muzzle brakes, all kinds of stuff. You can equip whatever you have and make your gun better. And then you can also upgrade your gear, of course. You can upgrade your body armor, so you can upgrade your boots and your pants, your jacket, your gloves, everything, and even your backpack. You can get better backpacks to hold more loot and so on and so forth. And when I watched this game or game clips or game trailers for this game, I basically thought this game is all just outside on the streets all the time, but it's actually fun. There's a lot of buildings you can go inside, and you always will find a lot of loot in those buildings, and those buildings are just as detailed as the streets actually. So if you're low on maybe a med kit or anything, energy drinks, energy bars or anything, or even gear, you should go and check out all those houses and rooms. You will always find something, and you should actually never run low on stuff like that. So as you can see, there is even stuff hidden. Whenever you fight some enemies, you actually get really, really good loot and lots of loot. So always make sure that after fighting enemies, you check the area so you don't miss out on really awesome loot. So you can see here, I just got a gear upgrade just by checking out this little room that was kind of hidden and I almost missed. But make sure you don't do what I did. If a civilian approaches you, actually pointing your gun at them, which I accidentally did, and that means that the civilian becomes frightened of you and starts running and will never ask you for help again. So you can basically chase them for the rest of the game because they will just keep running. I tried that out, it was pretty funny. So overall, I have to say I'm convinced that I'm going to get this game. I wasn't sure, but now thanks to playing the beta, I got a really good look on this game and I really, really like it, and I think it can become really, really addictive. There's so much to do, even though in the beta they open up only a few things, but it was already a ton of fun. I actually spent like over 10 hours just playing a single player here and had a ton of fun because there's just so much to explore and there's so much to do, and the missions are fun and the graphics are just amazing. The only gripe I had is that they just kind of overdid it with the icons. There are so many icons, and as you can see, every single cover that you can use shows an A icon, so basically showing you that you can take cover behind it. But this makes it just a lot harder to see other important things like loot. So every time you see this icon blink up, you run through the city, you think, oh, there is something, and it's basically just it telling you that there is another cover you can use as cover. So I feel like this was a little bit overdone, but I haven't checked yet if you can maybe turn that off in the options. A lot of things have been disabled in the beta, so I don't even bother trying to find out if that's an option or not, but I could imagine that that's possible because I can imagine a lot of people would be annoyed by the game constantly telling you, oh, you can take cover behind this, you can take cover behind that. So if you turn it off, you can just see if you can take cover like in real life, and if you can't, then you just go to the next obstruction and see if you can take cover behind it. But I really just disliked having those A icons just everywhere because it just kind of was super, super, super distracting. Other than that, I didn't really find anything to complain about, besides maybe that the gun could have a little bit better damage. But the shooting, the cover system, everything works really well once you get used to, especially for a first-person shooter fan who's trying to play a third-person shooter. But it's really a lot of fun, and I hope you enjoyed this little review, and I hope to see you next time when I'm actually reviewing the multiplayer of this game. Take care, bye-bye.